You find yourself venturing into a world that is unfamiliar to you in every single way. All you have to your name is your wits and a broken phone that has no internet. But wait, you have the MidFall Podcast in your hands. Here you can listen to the tales of your three hosts, Luis, Josh, and Jared, as they venture through their own creative woes and whatnot. Get ready to be entertained through your wildest dreams as you conquer and face this new threatening world.
What is up, everyone? My name is Josh. I am your host for today of Season 3, Episode 1 of the MidFall Podcast. I am joined today by my cohorts, the main men of the hour, Luis and Jared.
Oh,
Season 3.
Yeah!
2025.
So, speaking of 2025, this episode is very focused on the new year. It's very focused on whatever goals we have. I know in the previous episodes we mentioned we went a little bit of a hiatus, and we do have one announcement to make, and I want Luis to take the floor for that because he mentioned it earlier. So what is the announcement for the chat, Luis?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So last year, I believe it was actually the last podcast episode that I mentioned that my goal this year was to release one EP a month, at the very minimum of 4-song EP. So yeah, you guys can look forward to this month's EP releasing hopefully by next week, if not in 2 weeks from now. I already have the songs done, I just need to get the final mixes done, but hopefully in the next 2 weeks you guys will be hearing the Whispers EP. It has one song featuring the boy Jarud, back from, I believe it was 2023. We made a song and it never got put out. So excited to finally get that song out there. And yeah, besides that, Black MidFall is still out there, and so is The Boys Go South. Web store Cursed Realm Crypt is up as well. Go ahead and check it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the announcement.
Yeah, I think something people don't know yet is that we've been posting a little bit of content on Midfall 99, no? I think you had a friend make a post and you reposted it or something like that on Instagram.
Yeah, so along with this, go ahead and also follow Sid Main on Instagram. He is an up-and-coming boxer, and he's also just been making a lot of funny Instagram reels, TikToks, and stuff like that about boxing, as well as the boy Ojis. He also helped him out with that. He's I guess a pretty viral TikToker, Instagrammer. Instagram is ojis.gungami, Gugnani. So yeah, check both those boys out. They're dope, and appreciate them helping out promote the MidFall hoodies.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to link them in the description for you guys. The link tree, as always, will have all our other links, but for these guys, they'll be linked in the description if this is on YouTube for you, if you're watching it there, so you can easily find it there on YouTube. Is there any other announcements anyone wants to make, or shall we get on with the episode?
Just glad we made it this far, man. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah. So before we actually begin the episode, I do want to bring up a few things. I spoke about this with Luis and Jared before the episode, and I kind of didn't want to bring it up on the podcast. But now that we've spoken about goals a little bit, the three of us are interested in making a sort of bingo board goal list, organizing our goals onto a bingo board so it's more fun for us. We're not going to get into the specifics too much, but be on the lookout for something like that. Maybe we'll make a mid-fall theme, an advent calendar. We'll make a mid-fall themed bingo board so people can make their own bingo board or something like that, on Photoshop. That'd be kind of funny.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, so just be on the lookout for something like that. We'll probably just talk about it. Maybe we'll post it online. I'm not too sure. It'll be really personal to us, so maybe we won't just say the specifics, but I encourage everyone, if you really want to better your life, just, make things fun for yourself. If it's not something that's too serious, like if you can enjoy yourself by one of your goals being going out with your friends more often, put that on the bingo board. Be like, hang out with my friends at least once a month, like that type of thing. Just have fun with it.
Exactly. That's all we want to promote here on MidFall, so that's kind of the original story of this place. So yeah,
exactly. But then one last thing before the episode begins, I need to give Jared and I a chance to nerd out, because Sonic 3 was just too good to not talk about. I don't want to miss out on the hype. That movie was so damn good. Without spoiling, what did you think there, Jared?
Oh, a beautiful, beautiful love letter to not only what they have created so far, but also to the game that it is based on, Sonic Adventure 2. I really like how they made it into their own rendition without really taking away much.
Yes.
Solid.
It gives me the feeling that Transformers 1 gave me, but better, because I love Sonic more than I love Transformers, to be honest. However, I think the movie was amazing. I think the Sonic 3 movies that we've had, the franchise so far, the trilogy, it's one of the only trilogies where it truly gets better with every movie. I know Kung Fu Panda's one you could argue, but some people don't like the third one. You can't really say much about the fourth one because apparently it was really bad. I haven't seen it, but Kung Fu Panda's another one you can think about. Yeah, and then like video game movies in general, we've rarely had a trilogy for video game movies, and this is probably the best video game movie trilogy I've ever had in my lifetime, to be honest, I've ever seen. So, very good movie. The final act and everything that comes after is probably everything I love about the movie. Like, it's so damn good. Feels like you're playing video games. That's all I'm saying. That's what it feels like.
Quite peak.
Yes. But Luis is probably going to watch it because Jared and I keep bringing it up. So, hopefully, you end up liking it.
I will do my homework, boys. I will do my homework.
Dude, you're going to love it. It's so good. All right. Let's get on with the episode, the New Year's themed episode. We've mentioned New Year's goals, so I'll get onto that a little bit later. But how was everyone's holidays? And, just answer that question real quick. I have a follow-up after that. How was your holidays, guys? Christmas, New Year's, anything else you celebrated?
Go ahead first, Jared.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, my holidays was pretty good. It was pretty good. Pretty low-key. Didn't really do a whole lot during this holiday season. But honestly, I kind of like it like that, Not really doing too much, just chilling out, vibing out, especially after all the money that you spend during the season.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to have some good relaxation and just chill out. Just chill out.
Definitely. What about New Year's?
Oh, honestly, New Year's was the same thing. I had a friend who I saw a little bit earlier. Yeah, like a couple days earlier, and they were saying, oh yeah, I'm thinking about doing like a New Year's party or something if you want to join. And I was like, oh, maybe. But then once New Year's Eve kind of came around, I woke up that morning, and I was like, yeah, I ain't going to that.
I'm not leaving the house.
Yeah, bro, honestly, I saw my sweats, and I was like, nah, we ain't wearing nothing else.
Yeah. For real.
Okay. What about you, Lush? How was the holidays?
So, the holidays for me this year, pretty much kind of a blur, boys. I'm not going to lie. I actually spent it just working mainly. So, yeah. Just working. I work in a warehouse at night. So, it was just very cold and very busy. And besides, I had a lot of family over, which was very nice, and because I haven't seen them in about 10 years or so. But what I will say, though, is unfortunately, I didn't get to spend as much time with them as I liked. But the Christmas was very much low-key. Unfortunately, though, I was very tired, so I just kind of spent it kind of to myself, kind of napping on the couch, kind of being, tuning in every so often when I woke up from those little naps. And on New Year's, polar opposite than last year. Last year we spent it with some of the boys from season 1, Cyrus, Jaden, Glenn, and that was pretty much it, I believe. Well, Glenn's girlfriend, obviously, and Jack. But yeah, we spent it in the city. We went to an arcade bar and got some pizza. It was really nice. But our New Year's this year, like I said, polar opposite. Jack had to go ahead and dog sit for her parents, or for her dad at least. And so that was unfortunately when she had first gone sick, and so she wasn't feeling good and she was stuck with the dogs. So I was watching her and watching the dogs, and helping her out watch the dogs. So it was pretty nice, honestly, because just like Jared, dude, I don't want to go out. And like, I do like going out, but just like very, very rarely. But
Yeah.
I was like very much more glad that I was inside watching movies. Juror number 2 actually is what I watched that night. So if you guys have not seen that movie, go ahead and check it out. I would actually recommend it on HBO Max. Yeah, it was just chill.
It's funny you bring up Juror number 2 because I saw the poster of it and I'm like, oh, that's Nicholas Hoult, like The Beast and all these other movies. I did not know he was British until like the other day.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I
mean, he looks
always
like
hear
it.
an American accent in movies. Yeah, he does look a little British, but it was just crazy to me to think about that. Random topic, but I think for me, my New Year's and my Christmas, it was all right. Everyone in my family kind of got sick on Christmas Day. Christmas Eve is when we celebrate. So Christmas Eve, everyone got sick, so we had to postpone it, and we ended up doing it like a few days ago, actually, and we're recording this on the 7th of January, so it was after the New Year that we celebrated. That's how sick everybody was. Like, some people had like bacterial infection or something like that, like a stomach bug thing. Some people had like the flu or cold or something like that. Like, multiple people were sick. And so we postponed it. Ended up going well. I enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't too bad. The vibes were a little off because everyone was still like coming back from being sick, but it was nice. And then New Year's was fun. I really enjoyed my New Year's. It was a good vibe. I think I'm a little bit of the opposite compared to you guys. Like, I like to be around people during New Year's. I don't want to be alone on New Year's because I've spent New Year's alone and I spent New Year's with friends, like going out. And I think just being around my friends is a lot better for me than being alone. I enjoy entering the new year with familiar faces, like just being around someone I know. And so, at least in Brazil, like the culture that I know, that people have told me, like family and friends, New Year's is something you spend with like family and stuff like that, having a big like feast or a little bit of a party, drinking and stuff like that. It depends on the family, of course, but that's like what I know a little bit about, and that's the type of New Year's that I like. Even if it's just going over to a friend's house or hanging out with friends, I want to enter the new year knowing I spent time with my friends or like with my friends already. But it was good. New Year's was good. Christmas ended up being great too. But let me know, are there any notable moments for you guys for the holidays? Like anything you remember, like, yeah, that's never happened to me before. Like, oh dang, that was a funny experience this year.
Well, going back to it really quickly, and hopefully I can find that answer for you. I do have to agree with you. Typically, I do prefer spending New Year's with my friends, but I typically do not like going out.
Yeah.
So it just happened to play out that way this year. But anything that happened, like anything notable that happened last year?
Yeah, like that last year, like during New Year's, the holidays, this past week or something like that. Like this last month or so.
Oh, this last month. No, I just got sick twice. I mean, like I got hit pretty hard, unfortunately. Probably because, like I said, I was working in a warehouse at night. But, God, I was doing so good this year. I felt like with not getting sick. Well, kinda, because I got sick. I in September, around September time, and I got sick. I think maybe second or third week of December, and then now I got sick the first week of January. So yeah, that's the most notable thing that's happened to me.
Yeah. What about you, Jared? Anything at all?
Honestly, I can't think of anything. I think it's been pretty mundane for the most part. Nothing super crazy.
Yeah, that's fair. I think for me, the only thing that's like different, I mentioned this to you guys earlier, but for the people who haven't heard it because it wasn't on the podcast, for New Year's, my friends and I were about to go out, and you know, 2 of them are getting married to each other, and then one of them is our other friend, and then there's me. So our other friend is single, I'm in a relationship, the other 2 are in a relationship. So it's not like we're gonna go out like patrolling for the night, you know. So we decided to make a bingo board of things to look out for as we're out. And so I'm gonna read the bingo board for you guys, so you can kind of like see what the vibes were. So for the bingo board, everyone had the same thing. It was just randomized. There was things from like a free space, hearing fireworks or seeing fireworks, getting a shot of tequila, seeing a long line to a bar, witnessing someone spill their drink, seeing people make out, someone throws up, seeing a physical fight or altercation, seeing someone get arrested, someone falling to the ground, getting a Jaeger bomb, getting an Irish car bomb, the drinks, seeing a couple in an argument, getting a glass of champagne, and like people doing stuff in the bathroom they shouldn't be doing, the nose variety, someone wearing 2020 X glasses, like all that jazz, just that type of vibe. And the thing that we'd agreed on was if somebody completes a line then of the board, then someone has to buy them a drink or something like that. And I ended up completing a line, but it was at the end of the night when everyone had gone home, and it was just me and one more friend.
Of the board?
Of what?
Just okay. Because the last time you specified
of the board, yes.
And then when you were like, I completed a line
of the board.
That's why I'm like, of the board?
Yeah. So it honestly made New Year's like hella fun. Like not having to like think about too many things, because you know most of the time I was just thinking about like, dang, I want to spend New Year's with my friends or my girlfriend. But it was fun to like just enjoy New Year's and just enjoy where I was and where I chose to be with people around me and stuff like that. It was good.
Dude, I can imagine that spending New Year's in the city that you live is freaking dope.
It is, honestly.
Like, was it mega lively and everything?
Dude, it was. Honestly, if you guys ever want to spend New Year's where I live, I highly recommend trying it out. We'll have to figure out logistics like travel, like how you guys would get here.
Put that shit on a bingo board.
Put that on the bingo board. But I think it'd be fun. Just like someday we all spend a New Year's together would be really, really cool. But I know we spoke about this last time, but I want to reiterate it. I want us to cement something, just one thing. What is something you know you'll do this year that you haven't really like mentioned too much? Because I know Luis has mentioned his 4 EPs, or EP a month, was it?
Yeah.
So what's something that you want to make sure that you want to do this year? At least one thing.
I'll also chip in something besides that too. But you guys go ahead. More within context. How about this? Just to make it, expand the question. How about this, Josh? If I may, can we turn it into what is one thing that we're for sure gonna complete this year? How about this? Like, let's go, like financially, maybe. Like, what we're gonna do, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Because Jared mentioned something to me when he was over, and then something like growth-wise, right? Like, what are you gonna do? And let's say, let's just start off with those two. I'd say like financially this year, I'd like to start planning a wedding or something of that sort. Just kind of like really kind of materialize that. So like actually look at numbers and whatnot. That's something that I would probably like to do this year. I mean, that probably goes within like personal and financial, but
yeah.
I
think that's
as
really
far
cool.
as like, yeah, I mean, I'd like to go ahead and do that. So yeah, there's no other way to get started than to just go ahead and actually start looking at stuff. And besides that, I'd like to go ahead and at the very minimum, just personally to grow, and I can go ahead and expand on, whatever I just said. I'd like to go ahead and at least read 12 books this year, like a book a month, just to expand my knowledge and whatnot, and hopefully my speech, so that way the podcast I don't keep saying and like and whatever. You can tell I'm from California, since how much I'm saying like, but yeah.
Yeah, I like those goals a lot, actually. I think it's like, those are goals that I envision you doing because it shows your dedication to growth, not even just personal. Like, that's social, relationship, economic, everything. That's
dude.
good.
I mean, dang, we're 25, right? And I mean, like we've talked about this too, right? Like, you're also in a, we're in a serious boat. We're all like, we're serious. So yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility to obviously talk about these things, especially at the age that we are now, being 25.
Exactly. I agree. Luis said he had something you already said to him before, Jared. What was it?
Oh, well, it's kind of two things, actually. Well, one thing that I want to do, probably sooner than later, is to get a new car, because my car is old as hell. It is 2006 model, and I want something a little more recent, something nicer. But also the second thing, sometime this year, I'd like to get an apartment. I don't know where, but, I want a place to myself right now. I'm currently living with my folks, and it is wonderful. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but sometimes a little bird's gotta spread out his wings, It'd be very nice to actually do that.
Your own little rhythm without getting disrupted. Because although it's nice living with parents, right? Mm-hmm. There's just the slight little detours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Throw you off.
Yep.
Oh,
I like a space where I could just focus on what I want to do, get it done, no distractions whatsoever. That would be wonderful. I've already started looking into certain things I like to get, like one of those. What was it? The Thuma bed frames. The Thuma bed frames will be wonderful.
They're those just bed frames that don't need anything.
Oh yeah.
That you just clip onto each other.
Yeah, I've been seeing ads about
the
this.
bougie ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one you can lift up and stuff like that too, like up 45 degrees or something.
It's just
like clicking.
Is it that one?
Well, it's like the.
No, yeah, he's just talking about the plain wooden beds.
I see.
That they're made out of wood. They just don't require any tools.
Yeah, they just kind of click into each other, like super simple, easy to assemble, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Oh, one more
aesthetic
that I would really like to do during this year. I don't know if I'm gonna honestly complete it or not, but I'd like to make a book. I like to make a book. Just finished.
It's. I was gonna say it's easier. Apparently, probably now than I'm sorry. It is easier now than ever to even get books done. Because I guess even Amazon, you can publish your books through Amazon, which is crazy.
Yeah, you can publish it through Amazon. You can do it through Apple. Yeah, it's actually.
Oh, Apple too. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy to do nowadays. But yeah, I like to make a book. I finished all the outlines that I wanted to make, all the little edits that I wanted to do, and now it's just the hard part of just putting it to paper and getting it all assembled. So yeah, I'd like to do something like that.
Dude, hey, I'm telling you guys, this year, over the summer, since we already normally, or around the time, if you're still gonna come around the same time like you normally do, Josh, this time come very much prepared. Saying it from this time, actually getting shit reserved and shit. But I was gonna say, just having a little retreat like we did last time, but very much having the creative stuff, dialed in. Just having a creative retreat,
Yeah, I think
would be dope.
I agree. I think the creative retreats, every time we've done them, they've helped. And it was before we did things like MidFall. It was just to do things, and it really boosted our.
Yeah.
It boosted our mental. Like, there was one time we did a creative retreat, and some of it was just hanging out with friends, but some of it was legit us just being creative by making music together. That was the one where we made Summertime. I think it was called Summertime.
Yeah.
Something.
Summertime, just summertime.
Yeah. Like that song, like wasn't amazing, but it was fun, and it got me back into wanting to make music with them because Luis knows me. Like him and I used to drive together and like freestyle in the car, and I'd always say the same fucking things every single time. But I had the confidence in it.
It flowed though.
Yeah, the confidence in the flow that I had was just so nice. And so making Summertime brought that back, and then making the songs that we've been making, although I'm not as great as I want to be, I'm doing it knowing that I'm going to get better because I'm working with someone like Jared who is a lyricist. He's very, very nice.
Iridescent Glow. If you guys haven't heard it yet, go ahead and check it out because I listen to that song actually pretty often because these boys actually did really flow on that song and it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, Jared's nice like that. So
Man,
it was really nice.
Good too.
Yeah, because I would bring up some lyric ideas I had with Jared. I'm like, Jared, how do I make this flow? Because I want to say this, and right now I have this. And Jared's like, oh, well, take out this word, make this word sound like this instead of just normal, and then make it sound like this, and then like take this away and add this because it'll convey this. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like this dude should be working with like. I really feel like Jared could be working with like any artist, helping them with lyrics if they wanted to, and Jared would convey the message they've always been conveying in the music because he could adapt to it. Jared's really
they will know us.
Yes.
They'll know us.
Okay. But let me get to my goals because I lost track of the conversation. First of all, I've been plugged into Marvel Rivals. I legit was about to hit Diamond 3 last night, which is pretty decently high rank. Not amazing, but like pretty high. Solo queuing. But then the game screwed me over and put me in a bunch of loser lobbies after I was winning a lot. And then I ended up going lower than I was when I started the night. So that sucks. So the ranks are going to reset in like 2 days. But I would like to, reach Diamond or whatever the next rank is. I think that it's Grandmaster sometime next year. This year, I mean. It's already 2025. I would like to reach a high rank in ranked competitive Marvel Rivals because I know I'm good enough. It's just the time. I don't really have the time so far this year. I'm going to be traveling a little bit. In an ideal scenario, I would like to purchase like a multifamily home, like a duplex or whatever the triple ones are called. Something like that would be nice. Just ideally, that's a goal. And just, using that as a way of income as well, to where I can rent out one or two other portions of the home, depending on how many there are, and live in the other portion while paying off my mortgage. So that's a goal. And then I want to get closer with my girlfriend. Like, we started dating last year. We've known each other for it's going to be a year in February. So when I'm visiting her in February, so it's going to be our year of knowing each other anniversary. So I just want to develop.
They're long distance, by the way.
Yeah. So she lives in Brazil. I live over in America. I just want that closeness to keep getting closer. Like it's getting there. It's really nice, but I just want to make sure that she and I are locked in. You know what I mean? Just want to enjoy what we have and keep getting closer like we have been. And it's gonna happen. So that's a goal that I know it's gonna happen. And then I think those are the main things. Like just bettering my lifestyle with plugging myself into video games, having fun, but also making sure I, focus on what I want to do, like, getting a house someday. But I do want to, I want to release at least one more game this year, and I know I'll be able to release at least one game this year. That's the goal, and I know it will happen. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's one for sure I know I can achieve as well. So that's 2 goals I know I'll achieve. Having a house is the end goal, especially if I can rent out portions of the house. And ideally I could have room in the house for like people like Luis and Jared and their girlfriends to visit and stuff like that when that time comes. So I think it'd be fun to just not have my friends worry about where they're going to stay if they ever visit me. So yeah, those are my goals for this year.
Pretty good goals, my guy.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think I'll reach at least half of them.
Yup. That's dope.
But like, I think something that you guys said, like all your goals are very much attainable, but I think something that people should know is like, not fear, but like the chance of not achieving your goals should be a thing in my opinion. Like, sure, everything could be a goal if you know you're going to achieve it, but it being a little bit daunting is kind of what leads to growth in my perspective. You know what I mean?
Well, yes. I'd say so. I'd say not necessarily. I'd say what you should not necessarily be fearful of, like of failing per se.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if it's like financial stuff, but like, with failure comes like learning. But I think that the part that's scary to me when it comes to trying new things is the putting in time commitment, and that commitment amounting to nothing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Losing time. I think that's my fear predominantly. But honestly, to be honest with you guys, if I had to really say something, because this whole MidFall thing is scary to me. Honestly, fear of judgment is my biggest thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree.
I'd say, going back to it, just like it's just like calculated, like doing like calculations of, is this like worth my time? Like, buying a house obviously should be scary, but I feel like the scary thing about that is like, do I want to like stay here and commit to this?
Exactly.
Yeah,
like not everything, but a lot of things that are great in life do not come easy, and that's where the fear comes in. Like getting a house most likely isn't going to be easy for most people. Starting a company or a brand or making videos with your friends, although it can be fun at first, at some point it starts to become daunting because we're putting a lot of time and effort into something, hoping to reach the audience that we desire, which it will happen. We've already put in like some of the chess pieces into the board, I guess.
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's beautiful about it.
We got some corner pieces.
Yeah, and it's not easy, but we know what we signed up for. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we're also three people that if someone's, feeling a little bit like, I don't know if we should do this, the others will either reassure them or listen and be like, okay, you're right, or hey, give it a chance.
Yeah, exactly. We're acknowledging that as long as we help each other, it'll all kind of come back to us. And I mean, the thing that I did kind of speak about this like briefly to Jared, but I mean, I also want to kind of reiterate it in this way. One thing that I've read in the first book that I started reading last year, which was Atomic Habits, I just off of another topic, I was telling Jared kind of seeing things from a different perspective and slightly just kind of embodying what your goal is. So take it as if you're a fit person, right? And I think I've used this analogy before. If you're an unhealthy person and you want to become fit, whatever your idea of fit is, that doesn't necessarily have to be the medical standard of fit. That doesn't have to be, hey, that's a person that goes to the gym every single day, whatever. If you think a fit person is just a person that walks a mile a week, then perfect, dope. But as we also spoke about it, I brought up a quote by James Clear 2 episodes that I hosted ago, and that was about how your goals sometimes aren't enough to carry you through a certain thing. It's your systems, right? So if I just tell myself that I want to become fit, that's not enough sometimes, and I can mess up until I get it right, until I catch a good rhythm. But I could get there quicker / just stick to it more consistently if I set things up in a way that will keep me consistent and that won't veer me off. But the way that you get to setting up those systems in the first place, because you would ask yourself, okay, so if I want to become a fit person and I need to set up things to become a fit person, what are these systems supposed to be? Okay, so these systems, so then ask yourself this: what do you think a fit person would do? Right? And from then on, you will start building these systems.
Yep.
Because as soon as you start embodying what you think a fit person does, and as soon as you start doing what you think a fit person does, you don't have to view yourself as a fit person. You don't have to, you're not gym bro from this moment forward, but you are doing what you think, and we're already slightly doing it. I don't know. I would just say that maybe we're not aware of it fully, right? Because right now we're technically business owners, and right now we're doing what we think business owners do, right? But I don't know if we have fully accepted, at least like me, right? Like, I don't know if we fully accepted it and fully embodied that personality, right? But everything that we're at least doing with everything right now, we're like, okay, we have a YouTube channel, we have a podcast, we have a web store. This is what business owners do. This is what people that, this is what businesses have. They have a web store, they have a podcast, they have media, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the confidence comes in what we're doing, like trusting in what we're doing. Like you've been saying this with what you just said. Like, it is like you gotta consider what you're doing and be like, oh, am I doing it right? But it's only gonna work if it's a strong, not belief, but like a strong system that you just said. Like having all these forms of media, we're not just making videos to make videos. We're making videos knowing that the videos are serving a purpose. They're not just random. Some of them are.
Exactly. Because right now we're not getting views, but we know that it's, at least we're not getting paid for this, right? Like, this is still like our free time.
Exactly.
Right? We're not getting compensated. This is still out of passion, but we know that the future payoff that we want to achieve from this is to be able to also be able to buy back some of our time. So, when we record a podcast, hopefully, again, it's just more of a financial incentive behind it. But there's always, obviously, let's just say this, time compensation for it, obviously, right? Just time compensation for it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the passion is obviously here.
For shouting. What do you think, Jared?
No, honestly, I think both of you have said it pretty eloquently that, it's progress. It's all just progress. We're that idea of climbing the ladder for it, and, not just being complacent with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think as you progress into something and you feel like, oh, hey, I'm at the peak of where I am, there's further more to go with it. There is way more. Like, it's not like there's a lot of people who get very popular at what they do, but they keep on going. They keep on going with it. They keep on adding more to it, being more experimental, being more creative with it. And sometimes, it may succeed, and sometimes it may not. But they keep going with it. It's all just about just playing around with things and just being, adventuring into it.
Adventure! I think some people need to remember that. Like, making a company, going into investing in yourself, your future, whatever. It doesn't have to be boring. Like, you could choose an avenue that's fun. Some people don't.
Exactly.
We did. I'm having fun. So,
Yeah, exactly. No, this is cool. This is definitely...
This is now the final topic of the podcast. We had a really good, I wouldn't say rant, we had a really good sequence there. But...
yeah, conversation.
The final topic is a Reddit post. I was scrambling to find this before the episode because I wanted to beef up the podcast, but the podcast is already beefed up regardless, so this one's not too hard, but it's a good little topic to end on. This is, I'm assuming we'll have a similar opinion, but let me read it for you guys real quick. The title is on r/advice, and it says, "My family loves my ex and keeps inviting her to family get-togethers." So the person wrote, "My ex and I dated for 5 years. My family adored her, and it was assumed that we would get married soon. We would be getting married soon. About a year ago, she broke up with me out of nowhere, saying that I was not enough of a man for her. In brackets, brutal, I know. After months of therapy, I started dating somebody new. Now, during my therapy months, my family had already invited her to certain events. My family asked me if she could still come, and because I still wanted her back, I said yes. As soon as I started to date someone new and my ex had attended her last invited event, I thought that was the end of it. Today, I found out my family invited my ex to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I thought it was a joke, but no, they love having her around. I put a stern warning that if she was invited, I would not be attending. I restated what my therapist told me, saying this was unhealthy for me and was violating my boundaries. My family does not care, they love her, she doesn't have much family, and they want her included. My current girlfriend is obviously furious too. Every family member, including my mom and grandmother, are saying I need to treat it as if she were a friend and grow up. I don't know what to do. Any advice?
Well, I mean, that's just your family not respecting your boundaries,
Yeah.
right? I mean, what more can you really say about that? I mean, at that point, I would probably take it up with your ex, right? I mean, hey, like, I know my family keeps inviting you to this, but, you know, we didn't end on good terms. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. At that point, it's if your family ain't gonna listen to you, then yeah, try talking to your ex, just being like, hey, you know, I know they've been like inviting you into shit, but it's like, it's kind of weird. Like, can you stop coming? You know?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit weird, like, regardless of her having no one to go to for the holidays, like, I think that's what the post said. I don't think it's fair for her to do that. I think it's kind of weird, especially after he's in a new relationship. I think the ex should have, like, known from the get-go, once he enters a new relationship, I'm not coming anymore. But I think he needs to talk to his girlfriend and be like, hey, I'm going to talk to my ex and tell her, hey, could you please not come to the holidays anymore? It's uncomfortable for me and my current partner. You are no longer my partner, and therefore you're not my family, and I would appreciate if you respected me enough to not come. That's how I feel about it, too. I'm very much in agreement with you guys. But there's an edit to the post. This is from 2 months ago. And it says, thanks to all of you for your advice. I'm gonna quote unquote man up and tell them me and my girlfriend won't be attending. My family and her have already said it would be a cowardly thing to do to hide from my ex, but I don't give a fuck. These comments reassured me this is not okay. I'm gonna take my girlfriend somewhere nice and spend Thanksgiving with her. I might even try to organize buying plane tickets and seeing her family for Christmas. I'll keep you guys updated if anything else comes of this.
Yeah, I mean, that would be better.
Yeah.
Now let's say this: if we ended like amicably, like it was fine, and she didn't really have anywhere to spend for the holidays, blah 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 blah. You know, in my relationship, like it's like solid and like, yeah, it's like early and whatever, but like, if I've given my new girlfriend to like the idea that I'm loyal and whatnot, then it would be different. I would probably be like, okay, like whatever, you know, I could be fine with it. Again, ending amicably, but if it's like not great, blah blah blah, you don't got nowhere to go, that's not my problem. So yeah, if anything, for my family too, I'm just gonna stay home with my girlfriend because there's multiple other Thanksgivings that we can have together, and especially too if I don't know, yeah.
What about you, Drew?
Yeah. I also do find it a little ironic how she broke up with him, telling him that he needed to like man up, and then in that edit he's like, "You're right, guys, I need to man up." You know, I found that hella ironic, but honestly, yeah, that is a pretty realistic response to that kind of stuff. Like if your own family keeps on inviting your ex and you're obviously not comfortable with it, then just don't show up. Don't show
now
up.
devil's advocate. Devil's advocate. This guy's a deadbeat, right? And then the ex was like, hey, you have a kid, we have a kid together, you're not seeing the kid, blah 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 blah, I need you to man up. And then this guy's over here like, yeah man, I'm gonna go, I have a new ex.
Yeah,
you know, who's like cool, a little bit younger or whatever, smokes cigarettes, and has a motorcycle, and you know, just the family's like, dude, what the fuck? You're really not gonna like come over like with your like ex and your kid and whatnot, or even just like your ex, whatever? And then like, you're right, guys.
Yeah,
I'm just joking. But another angle.
Yeah, true. There could be information he's hiding. And, speaking of information, I was trying to see if there's any, more updates. I clicked on his profile, and there's a post from a month ago. And I think it has to do with this situation. So, they posted on their own profile, I guess, titled, "Hi." Sorry, I'm still sick, guys. That's why I'm making noise. But they said, "This is an update. Hi, everyone. I'm not sure what happened, but my update post got taken down. Not sure where to post this, so I'll post this here. The TLDR of the post that was my current girlfriend broke up with me, saying the situation was too uncomfortable. I also planned on taking a trip by myself to get some space. Since that update, a few things have happened. My family blew up my phone when I didn't show up for Thanksgiving. A lot of mean things were said. Selfish, asshole, and the P word, PUSSY, were the worst of it. My mom said she was disappointed, which hurt the worst. She said to not expect an invite to Christmas because of the stunt I pulled. This has made me realize how terrible my family really is. The trip was depressing. The trip they did alone, I assume. The trip was depressing. I tried to explore, eat at a fancy restaurants, and play games in my hotel, but it was just so lonely. I cut my trip short and tried to see some friends over the weekend. Everyone's busy with holiday stuff, so it's not going well. I've gotten hundreds of messages, most encouraging, some mean. I've chosen not to reply to anyone. I'm sorry, I just can't. My mental health is deteriorating, and just writing this is not exhausting enough. I just know a lot of people are worried and asking if I'm okay. Let's put it this way, I'll survive. If you cared enough to search out this update, I appreciate you. Oh, thank you. I don't think I'm gonna provide any more updates. It seems like I'm going no contact with my family, and that's pretty much the end of it. As far as my ex, I haven't heard from her. I know she went to Thanksgiving and is still going to Christmas. It seems like my family traded their son for a daughter. I'll keep pushing forward. I think I'm not going to date for a long time. I'm just gonna focus on my career and my mental health. Hope everyone has a good holiday season. Remember to cherish the family you have. Peace. And then someone replied, as time goes by, I realize more and more that family is less about blood and more about the people you respect, love, and support you. Your family's out there. They might not look like the ones you grew up with around, but don't give up hope that you'll find them. And the OP, the original poster, said, I won't give up, I promise.
Yeesh.
Yeah. I mean, he just ripped off that bandage, so it's obviously completely valid that he's feeling all of his feelings, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's tough.
I think
that shit really snowballed.
Yeah, the family fucked up. I think he needs to, as red pills as this sounds, he needs to start winning in life and just not think about them by winning in life, by finding himself or finding his own friend or family.
He just shed some skin, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to say move on.
Less people to worry about, I guess.
Exactly. It's just what happens. It happens in everyone's life at some point. You have to nip things in the bud and stop talking to certain people. And it sucks that it happens to be his family. Don't get me wrong, it really fucking sucks. But I think he did say he'll survive, and I think he'll survive with the help of therapy like he's been doing, but also not finding himself in a partner. Find yourself by yourself. Don't find yourself in someone else.
True.
Yard.
But yeah, I think he should definitely keep doing therapy. I think he needs to find his own family through a friend group or through, therapy, and then over time, maybe being in a new relationship if he's ever open to that, and, meeting their family. Just seeing if he vibes with their family. Maybe that'll be his new family, although that shouldn't be the answer to it.
Yeah.
That is an option, though.
Definitely.
But yeah, is there anything you guys wanted to say in response to that, or do you guys want to call it here?
I think we are pretty good call here, unless Jared has something to say.
No, I think we're pretty good. I think we're good.
All right, I do want to say to this user on Reddit, I wish you the best if you're listening to this.
Yes,
Hopefully
sir.
Things go better. Keep doing therapy. Keep talking to your therapist. Seek out a professional. All that jazz. Don't let this be the end all be all. Your family will know better in the future once that ex finds someone. I think your family will realize they fucked up, and they'll have to apologize to you eventually. But yeah, Season 3, Episode 1 of the MidFall Podcast is now over. We'll see you all next week. Check out our links in the description, in the link tree, all that jazz. Everything's there for you guys to follow. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
No, sir. Just look out for Whispers EP later this month, and be safe. Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys next time.
Y'all see.
Like MidFall, boys go south.
Yes.
All right. Till next time, y'all.
See you.